para continuar essa missão, né? Eu acho que aquela luta da Conde, Pyro e o Capitão ia ser lá pra, sei lá, a última parte da missão. Mas interessante, que eu tô curioso pra saber o que tem mais pela frente. Nossa, eu não peguei nenhum teletransporte pra cima, que saco. Acho que aqui eu consigo subir. Eu ia falar, acho que você vai subir lá em cima, mas aqui tem. Poxa, a missão travou ali, o diálogo acabou já era? Ficou por isso? Ah.
That's Wina, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Não, foi nas 3 tribos liberadas dessa primeira atualização e fui em todas, então já.
Chaska.
Que feio.
Nice to see you again, Wina. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it. We're here for the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least tell me why you need it first.
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient name and rescue her.
Rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision. The nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens, the best thing you can do is focus on how to prevent further casualties.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wina. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then so will I.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wina? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete
Ah,
without
ela é a
taking
Nemo
risks.
mesmo, essa menina.
That's always...
It's nothing.
Nossa, ela parece
Night
muito a
Kingdom is a
Rosália
dangerous place.
e ser querida
Can't blame
também.
me for checking if you were up to if you're that determined. Far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather Clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe too. She's helped us out a...
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes. I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business.
Quando chegar na tribo dela, a gente vai conhecer.
Wait,
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom
Assim,
is like a
ponto B,
river
com certeza vai ser a
flowing
tribo
with
dela que vai aparecer.
concepts. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough. You need a fisherman, experienced enough to steer it in the right direction.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
who?
Vichama. A legendary warrior. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name, you're gonna...
Ichama? Why does that name...
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops.
Thank you. We'll go...
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
Que bonitinho. Eu espero muito que e as outras 3 tribos eu posso pegar essas criaturas também.
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff top. Hello there, are you Ichama?
That's me. Did you need something?
Caraca, que voz é essa? Nem combina com a aparência.
What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place.
Are you okay? You don't look...
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco?
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your request.
Yeah.
É daorinha essa
Since you're
essa-
helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we return the favor.
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Both connect the Night Kingdom to the living world. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So we have to be sure not to use it in a tribal settlement.
Wow, you got all that just from looking at it?
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. They must be a genius. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of them. So
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's tangible and one's not?
by creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to catch something.
Oh, I see.
Interessante.
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so...
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you. That means you're trustworthy.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean... Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush.
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on... Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you.
Sem dúvida é lá em cima, tá? Ah, que da hora, eu mesmo posso mexer agora? Olha as outras 3 tribos fechadas ali, ó. Nossa, 200 cada um.
Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes.
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would...
Deal.
Wait.
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as possible.
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by rock climbing enthusiasts. If you want to learn... All right. That's up.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the trap.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though?
That might be tough.
Thank you so much.
Relax. Everything.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready.
Well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. Now,
Perfect! Thank you.
if you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama just. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years.
Do you know what happened between them?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night. But Malco was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple... 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage. But on the eve of battle, the Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama...
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon. It's just... Malco and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything. Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. I've tried convincing him to move forward. To stop, the Abyss has caused so much suffering. And some wounds. Anyway, that's the gist of it.
Coitado. Tem que ir lá pra cima. Como que eu vou chegar lá mais fácil? Vou ter que ser por aqui mesmo.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here.
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to... As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor. Go ahead. After Malco fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense that I've always...
But that happened several years ago. The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Soul.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malcolm, all right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night Kingdom. The abyss will likely emerge.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Escape. Transfixed. Commendable. Witness my rise. Overruled. Torn to oblivion. Absurd. How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Claro, eu tô lutando com os bichos, né?
Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malco. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of
The abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there. Thank you.
Que da hora uma habilidade.
Watch out! The power of the abyss is strong.
this power.
Hanging in there?
No!
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone.
I already tried, but the power of the abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have to get back.
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now?
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. We were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel...
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky...
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone...
Okay. I'll be...
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Vichama!
Vichama?
Couldn't find Malko's ancient name. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, and now... It's too late to save him.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just...
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama?
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malco.
Not enough to swing a sword, to say a few last words.
Too bad. No one will... I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to...
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time. Pisak! Always had... Maybe you're right. Maybe no one... Vichama. I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. Just... keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Of course. Seeing you, hearing his voice again, but...
A deeper...
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, for all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life, he was thinking the same thing.
Vichama!
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wina wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the night. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you one step closer to danger. But I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, if I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, there are critical junctures in life. And if you don't seize, that's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so...
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I'll make sure. I promised I would find her, and I intend to...
That's good to hear.
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification. Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check. Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone.
Que não tem jeito, ela pode arrumar outra pedra. Ninguém mandou vocês quebrar.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I don't know what you want from me.
I think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wina. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you two. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm here. My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Tosca for a few minutes. You come with me.
I'll be just a moment.
Who was that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story. It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores. She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there. All on that strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted by the cuckoo sores.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting 1 minute, eventually she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't sit.
That's partly my fault.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chasky?
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
Sim.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have one.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a...
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuse... We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely... But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is!
And what do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did...
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same...
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose
All right, whatever. Anything...
You... What do you mean, anything else? Why don't...
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments, or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then... You need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals.
Nossa, pode ser qualquer, poderia ser qualquer elemento menos Anemo. Não combina.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his head.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi!
So, you're really going to go?
No, then support me. I'll be back. All you have to...
So, that's it.
You two are...
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact... It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister.
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well hand it over. According to Kinich, it's an important ceremonial artifact, so it'd be safer to keep it with me.
É, então, né?
If only Tone Gift Bard was here.
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, then you had no choice. Still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. I'll explain everything to her later. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay? I'll wait here for your safe return.
Tinha passou os 3 dias, agora liberou todos. Caramba! Eu nem tinha me tocado que a gente ia ganhar isso. Um catalisador. É do que? Ataque e vida. Um ataque acerta o oponente causa 40% da vida máxima ao dano. Eita, muito bom, hein? Fica na China, fica bom? Animation.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing trouble.
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of the situation?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know, or we're asking. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. With multiple facts still, all you need to do is focus on your goal.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Dion-san. Your incredible strength has long been a well-known fact.
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate. So much that you have to worry about.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Your reaction to Kachina's disappearance, well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her.
Alguém escutou, será? Que estranho, ficou meio frisando naquela parte ali.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various mementos I've collected.
Whoa. I've never seen this place before.
It looks like there are items from every tribe. Collecting them must have taken...
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes. And physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own memory. Now, I still have some preparations to make. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
Alright, we'll have a look. Hey, there's a fishing rod here. It must have...
That's right. It belongs to a legendary fisherman named Matavaru. I have his entire set of fishing equipment, actually. He and I met in a tavern. He told me about a particular kind of giant fish and his meticulous plan to catch it. In his eyes, I saw a hunger and a strong fighting spirit. To him, the sea was the battlefield upon which he staked his honor.
So, did he do it?
The next time I saw him, he was covered in scars. It turned out the fish he sought had been corroded by the abyss. He managed to kill the fish, but sustained a serious injury in the process, which meant he could never go deep-sea fishing again. Can a fisherman claim victory if he fails to bring back his catch?
Well, Paimon thinks he won.
That was my answer as well. The experience. In the end, he didn't want his tools to go to waste, so he gave them to me.
Wait, that means you also know how to fish.
Maybe we can go head-to-head sometime.
This is Atea's...
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever with... The powder still needs some time to settle. So let's wait a little. Well, what do you think of my collection?
Yeah! If each item represents a different story, seems like does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. We cannot change the past or predict the future. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future all exist at once.
At once? Paimon's not sure she...
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was exactly? Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet... Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened, but already exists.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past. and neglect the future. While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine. That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the Divine Throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan, namely a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us, and when that person ascends to the Divine Throne, in addition, the Sacred Flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the Divine Throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes. That's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little Saurians we raised. I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our...
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain!
It's alright. I'd never get upset over something like that.
Então meio que se confirmou, né? Todos os Archons Pyron eram humanos e se tornaram divindades depois.
Forever proud of becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and he would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the Saurians we were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about, as the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that, they remind me exactly what I'm trying to protect.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Iansan, Mulani, Chaska, over here please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin. Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
E cadê o Kinect?
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina!
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I? Is the Abyss playing tricks on me again?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I
listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you guys. You don't need to worry about me. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me, leaving me behind. I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come rescue me.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nobody here sees you as a burden. You're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll...
I'm really scared. Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of...
All you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind.
Yeah, we're so close, we can't...
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form. This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very experienced in dealing with abyssal corruption. That face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another argument.
No, I just feel bad.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the...
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation you can't handle...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Caraca, ela é daorinha, é todo... Nossa! Ela é da altura da... Chininha. Nossa, ela é do tamanho da Arlequina. Guias! Como eu queria ver esse encontro, hein? Três tribos que já foi apresentada no jogo, as outras três que não. É tipo um polvo, não sabe nem ideia do que é isso, e um dragão, será? Olha os balcões de síntese aqui. É estranho porque eu sei que tem outro chefe, mas eu não encontrei esse outro chefe ainda. Será que jogando a missão Arconte que eu vou conseguir liberar ele?